Hey, it's Matt. Just wanted to share this kind of story of some work that I was doing today for psychedelic water. We have this distributor agreement that came to me, and it's sort of a long document, really difficult to read, legal kind of terms, and it references a bunch of tax things and contract law, franchise laws that are state dependent, in this case for California. And it's stuff that I would not be, well versed enough to know what the potential risks are there. So, what I ended up doing was basically having this short prompt for ChatGPT that said, for our company, I've got this distribution agreement to review and understand what the concerns are, where the risks are for us, and if it's a fair deal or not. Can you review the contract for me? And then I just pasted the whole document in, and it came back with this incredible breakdown of the whole thing. It found all of the key concerns and risks for us, um, any other observations that it found in the document, and it had like some just incredible thoughts on what we should negotiate, what we could negotiate, and what some of the values in there around those things should be. And it was able to pull out things um, like it referenced the document referenced the California franchise law, and that was something that I don't have enough familiarity with, but it was able to know not only that what that was and what the additional concerns are because of that, on us. So that was good to get some clarification on that. It was able to pull out some of the issues with difficulty to terminate, payout amounts on termination, what kind of cases might or might not be causing a lock-in scenario for us, and where that risk might be, in like a practical term of what happens when like the business changes strategy and wants to do our own distribution. Is that going to create a problematic scenario, or who we can and can't sell to in the case of exclusivity with this distributor? um, uh, and the reimbursements, it was able to break down some of that language that was hard to understand, what it actually meant in practical purposes, and um, in particular with reimbursements, where we might be opening ourselves up to unlimited sort of chargebacks in terms of making sure that promotional spend is appropriate and not uh, the distributor being able to sort of give away stuff for free and charge it back to us. Um, Shipping issues, insurance issues. It flagged that a lack of performance metrics and requirements there, and a bunch of other things that were either defined or missing from the document that should have been in there or that we should add. So at the end, what we had was this like recommendation on the next step of negotiation of this document and what we should um, try and negotiate. And I think these are things that, like, unless you do a lot of these negotiations, you don't know what the terms are, that you can negotiate, what are reasonable levels for those things. And traditionally, this would be like such a niche kind of level of knowledge that you'd have to find a broker who's done these a bunch of times to know where the gaps are, what you can negotiate, what you can't negotiate, and what's fair. But man, ChatGPT and 10 minutes of time or less than that, and you've got just a it feels like an expert that's able to get me to really understand where to go with this document and um, how it might relate to other distribution deals that we get in the future. So, um, yeah. Anyway, this is kind of the thing that ChatGPT is made for. An LLM is like a text to text model, and it's really good at taking text and turning it into it, rewording it into a new text, and this is just like a perfect use case. So um, I wanted to make sure that this is something that everybody thinks about when they get a document that's hard to read, that they give it to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT can handle some of the hard to read language and turn it into something that's easier to understand. And uh, and like this sort of legal uh, kind of document is a perfect use case for me. Um, and if it's I'd love to actually, if you got any comments, questions, or tips, other kind of use cases similar to this, I'd love to hear it. Love to just like have these in the back of my mind. Like when I see a document like this, give it to ChatGPT to break it down. And the more of these kind of use cases that there are, the more that you feel comfortable about pulling out ChatGPT as the tool to handle it. So if you've got a favorite kind of use case like this, share it. And if you got a question, I'd love to get those questions as well. That's it for today's video. I'm Matt Warren. Cheers.